Hey, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know, if you want a really good laugh, check out my new novel, The Comatose Adventures of Lenny Rose. It's available now at Amazon.com, or there's a link on the Boomer Alley homepage. And now, here's this week's video.
And now, a Boomer Alley video.
I was in the bookstore the other day, and I guess because Father's Day is coming up, they had a whole table full of manuals on how to be a good father. Now, I don't know who these manuals were written for, because men don't read manuals. We can't. It's too much like asking for directions. You could give a man a nuclear reactor and he wouldn't read the manual. He'd kind of figure, how complicated can it be? It's just a nuclear reactor. So, when it comes to fathering, we're not going to read the manual. We're probably going to take one of two approaches. Either I hate my father and I'm not going to do to my kids what he did to me, or I love my father and I'm not any more screwed up than the average psychotic. I'll do what he did. That's the route I took, even though my father did believe in torture, both physical and mental. Now, I know there's a lot of debate today on what constitutes torture. And maybe if you gave an enemy combatant a whisker burn, it wouldn't be that effective. But when I was a little kid and used to jump in bed on a Sunday morning with my parents, my father would hold me down and then he'd actually say, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman." And that's when I knew the torture was coming. My father would take his face and rub it against mine and give me the worst whisker burn in the world. But I loved it. I must have. That's why I kept coming back every Sunday. It's amazing what kids will mistake for affection. Now, when I became a dad, I did some of the whisker burn thing, but I really preferred the atomic claw. That's when you tickle the belly so much that you're right on the edge between laughing and crying. If you go a little too far, they'll pee on you, so it's dangerous for everybody. I remember my boys used to laugh and scream and then threaten to get me back someday. Actually, that's one of my biggest fears. I know they're waiting for me to get really old. I'm going to be laying in bed in some nursing home and one of them's going to hold me down and the other one's going to be giving me the atomic claw. They're going to do it. I know they will. Actually, maybe kind of cool. Now, as far as mental torture goes, my father used to say things to me like, "If you touch that, I'm going to rip off your arm and beat you with the bloody stump." How can you not love that? You know, I have older siblings, and even as a little kid, I could see they weren't missing any limbs. There were no bloody stumps around the house. There was no reason to call human services and make him go down there and tell him he was just kidding. And to his credit, he got over that one pretty quickly. And he also, in his own way, taught me all the stuff that you really need to know to become a man. Loved my mother and treated her with respect, and by example, really taught me how to love a woman. I hope that's something I pass along to my kids. And there was something else that he used to tell us all the time. He used to say that we were special and that we could achieve anything we wanted. Granted, that's hard to believe when the guy telling you is in his boxer shorts and scratching himself. But you know what? That's the way dads are. So, to all you dads, happy Father's Day. I'm Mark at BoomerAlley.com.
It's Boomer Alley, love.